4:30 our time, and Hurricane Matthew is getting ready to make landfall in Florida. We'll tell you the latest on the situation and what is still to come this morning.
Plus, we talked to some Kentuckians who are staying in Florida and waiting out the storm.
And in Lexington, we talked to the family of a young man who was hit by a hit-and-run driver earlier this week. That story and the weather forecast for here for the weekend. All ahead on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. It's your Friday, and we welcome you to WKYT This Morning. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Andrea Walker. It is Friday, October 7th. Of course, today is the first day of Keeneland, but really the news today is going to be all about Florida and Hurricane Matthew.
Certainly, Hurricane Matthew bearing down right now on Florida. It has been downgraded to a Category 3 storm overnight, maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour. You can see its location here on our First Alert Defender network just off the Florida coast right now. Want to check in with Micah? He's tracking it all for us in our First Alert Weather Center.
Yeah, it looks like it may make landfall. It may, but even if it doesn't, it's still going to cause major problems. You're still talking about winds in excess of 100 miles per hour. Not only that, but flooding rains too. It looks like if it does make landfall, it'll be roughly around that Daytona Beach area and then slide up the East Coast before it actually curves back around into the Bahamas and maybe has another run at it. We'll see. Live sky camera, there is your view outside. And it looks pretty clear this morning. And when you have clear skies, what happens? Here we go with the temperatures dropping. Monticello coming in at 48 degrees. It's pretty chilly down south, 52 now in Somerset. We're holding on to the 50s across much of your region. Same old story, 81 later on this afternoon. Obviously, we're focusing in on Matthew and our weekend cold front. I'm not forgetting about our cold front. We're going to notch those details down coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, see you in a bit.
Hurricane Matthew is now bearing down on Florida. The storm has downgraded to a Category 3 storm overnight with maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour. 2
million people along the East Coast have been told to head inland. Marley Hall is in Orlando with the latest on the life-threatening storm.
Overnight, the outer bands of Hurricane Matthew began pummeling the Florida coast with unrelenting rain and roaring winds. The storm surge from the Category 3 storm sent boats in this harbor rocking side to side.
It's really quite a sight.
Storm shutters were ripped off the front of businesses in West Palm Beach. In Daytona Beach, police were left patrolling empty streets as most residents listened to evacuation warnings.
We can rebuild homes, we can rebuild businesses. I just think of my own family, we can't rebuild a life. This storm's a monster.
Some people living on the coast who couldn't get out of town sought safety in Red Cross shelters, this one inside a school cafeteria.
They were either at mobile homes or at vulnerable places. They're heeding the call from the authorities.
Conditions here in Orlando will intensify over the next few hours. Matthew is expected to slam Florida all day with hurricane-force winds and then turn towards Georgia. The state joined Florida in ordering mandatory evacuations, reversing a lane of traffic on this highway yesterday to accommodate the exodus. South Carolina did the same as this beach bar stayed open for one last party.
We're closed after tonight. We should be good after that.
Matthew is expected to move out to sea this weekend. Marley Hall, CBS News, Orlando, Florida.
More than 200,000 people in Florida are already without power. President Obama has declared a state of emergency in Florida, Georgia, and in South Carolina.
Many Kentuckians are preparing for Hurricane Matthew across the state of Florida. Some decided to not to evacuate despite multiple urges from Governor Rick Scott and other local officials. We talked to Somerset resident David Sparks, who has been camping at Disney World this week. We also talked to former WKYT news anchor Stacey Ellison from her hometown in St. Augustine. Both say they plan to ride it out with their families.
Just going to take it as it comes. Everyone's been very kind. We've met a lot of nice people here, and we're just going to ride it out together.
Really, it puts it in perspective when you know there are other people who boarded up their windows and took their valuables and had to leave.
The storm is expected to last more than 24 hours, hitting cities along Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina along the way.
Some people in Kentucky are already lending a helping hand to those impacted by Hurricane Matthew. The Bluegrass chapter of the American Red Cross says 11 workers from Kentucky have been sent to Florida or to the Carolinas, and they're helping with shelters and other relief efforts. They also took 3 emergency response vehicles with them.
Emergency response vehicle is a vehicle that we can load in with supplies and food so that we can do mass feeding, mass care. We can deliver cleanup kits and comfort kits to those who need it.
The Lexington Fire Department says it is making 3 firefighters available to head to either Florida or South Carolina to help with storm relief. Kentucky Emergency Management is also sending assistance to the Southeast. Management leaders say they received requests from South Carolina and Florida asking for volunteer coordinators, public information officers, water rescue teams, and incident management teams. Those workers will be helping emergency management crews in the hard-hit areas. For more coverage on Hurricane Matthew, go to our website, WKYT.com. You'll also find updates on the WKYT News app.
His heartbroken family just wants to know why it happened. Now we're learning more about a Lexington man police say was killed by a hit-and-run driver. 21-year-old Jonathan Adams died early Tuesday morning after being hit near the intersection of North Broadway and New Circle Road. WKYT's Garrett Weimer talked to Adams' mother and brother.
3 precious words are now even more precious to Sandy Montgomery.
We told each other how much we loved each other, and that was the last time I talked to him. And he sounded okay, you know, he sounded okay.
Montgomery says Jonathan struggled with depression and other issues. She calls him a restless spirit who, after being bullied growing up, was accepted on the streets. So that's where he often slept.
He was not homeless. He chose to be with the homeless because they were his family too.
But this family just can't grasp how a driver could leave their Jonathan for dead.
We don't know what happened. We don't know why it happened, you know, and your whole world just, I mean, erupts in questions.
I don't understand how they could leave my child broken and dying on the side of the road and not even stop. And that torments me because I think he was just alone, you know. And why couldn't you at least stop, you know, for whatever reason?
They say they forgive whoever hit him. They just need answers.
Jonathan loved so many people and he touched so many lives, and he didn't deserve this.
In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Adams' visitation is scheduled for 4 o'clock today at Millward Funeral Home on North Broadway. A memorial service will begin at 5.
Lexington police are right now trying to figure out who fired a shot that ended up inside a home. It happened last night before 8 at an apartment on Raleigh Road in the Eastland neighborhood. Police say a man was lying in bed when he heard glass crashing in his home. He said he didn't see or hear anything else. He was not injured. Police say some people nearby told them that they heard a gunshot but didn't see anything. Police do not think the man was targeted. They say his home just happened to be hit by a stray bullet.
A police chase ends with a crash in Mercer County. Mercer County Sheriff's Office says the crash started in Harrodsburg and ended in a crash on US 127 just north of town. Police say they reached speeds as high as 120 miles per hour. Police say no officers were injured, but the suspect was airlifted to the hospital. We don't know the name of the suspect or his condition this morning.
Well, WKYT this morning just getting started. Great to have you with us on this Friday. A lot going on as we continue to keep our eye on what's happening in the southeast.
And when we come back, we'll take a look at Hurricane Matthew hitting the east coast of Florida. That's coming up right after Micah's forecast.
We have those chilly conditions early this morning. We're going to be looking in toward the afternoon, seeing the 80s back in the forecast. Not only that, but also talk about Keeneland and Matthew. We're going to go over that coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We're in the 50s and 60s early this morning as we walk out the door. It's a little on the chilly side once you step on out. It's a bit cooler than where we have been the past couple of mornings. So just keep that in mind. You might have to throw on a light sweater before you walk outside. It's 54 degrees right now in Mount Sterling. Bad reading here in Lexington. It shows a 62, but really we're in the 50s right now. 52 coming in, and Danville, Somerset, Monticello, our cold spot, 48 degrees, Cynthiana, North Middletown, Paris, Mount Sterling, Moorhead, all is well early this morning. So as you're walking out the door, we're there a little bit chilly, but we get into your afternoon and we'll be right around 81 degrees with that mixture of sun and clouds once again. It's going to be another nice day in store. It's one of those times still as you're walking out though and heading in toward the afternoon, you might get a bit of a sweat going on if you're walking around the neighborhood with the kiddos. It's just going to be another one of those days off toward the evening hours. It looks really, really nice. So heading out to Keeneland, opening day of Keeneland, it looks good. We're sitting there at 81, even Friday night football games. Some we actually had last night, but any that are going on tonight, no problems whatsoever. Now let's focus in on Matthew as we head towards your weekend. Here's Matthew at the moment. It's about 30 miles off the coast. Now the good news here is I want to show you this track. If there's any good news out of this, is this track actually looks like it may stay offshore. And as far as offshore as we can get it, I know it's going to still be close. I mean, you're talking about a few miles here. But as far offshore as we can get it, the better everybody will be. However, still, we're going to see major, major problems. Flooding, storm surge, also winds as high as about 130 miles per hour. So you're talking about extremely, extremely dangerous situation. Looks like if it makes landfall, it'll be here in the next 6 hours or so. I'd say 10 a.m., maybe even toward noontime, roughly that Daytona Beach area. And then it rolls off back offshore and slides up the East Coast. It will cause some problems there for South Carolina. What kind of problems? Obviously, it's not going to go onshore, but still the winds will be gusty at roughly 80 to about 100 miles per hour. Not only that, remember that the center of the storm is where the strongest winds are. That's why you're seeing that 105. But you go about 50 miles north, you're talking about 80 to 100 mile an hour winds. Not only that, but you're talking 20 plus inches of rain possible in some spots of South Carolina. That does not look good, and then it loops back around. How does that affect our weekend? Well, it doesn't really affect us that much. We're still looking at a very dry weekend, and not only that, but a much cooler weekend, guys. We're sitting there at 67 tomorrow, 65 on Sunday. There is a slight chance of rain on Saturday, but it's mainly for far eastern Kentucky. So all in all, it's a good-looking forecast. Much, much cooler this weekend.
All right. A lot to watch
this
morning.
That's
All
right.
right. Thank you very much, Micah. It is coming up on 4:45, and we're good to have you with us right now.
And when WKYT returns this morning, new surveillance pictures show what police think is the same man robbing two different Lexington businesses. That story is coming right up after the break.
Good morning. Welcome back in. WKYT this morning, live from Lexington on your Friday. Ohio has a track record of picking the president. The voters there have gotten it to right in every election since 1964. The Rust Belt is considered a must-win for both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, but both have more work to do.
Yeah, Trump needs to overcome the lack of support from the state's top Republican, and Clinton needs a strong showing from her base. Weijia Jiang toured the state and found voters here think it is still anyone's game.
The women in this ladies-only bowling league in Youngstown, Ohio tell us it's not polite to mix pins and politics. But Rita Lopez and her friends made an exception for one night.
I'm very excited about Hillary. She looks like she's really trying to do what needs to be done for the country.
4 years ago, President Obama won Mahoning County by a 2-to-1 margin.
I would like to see the Ohio Valley stay Democratic.
Do you think it's going to?
I'm worried that it's not. I think that this country is not ready to do a black man and followed by a white woman.
Mickey Garling and Chris Pavlik are both registered Democrats. Garling plans to vote for Donald Trump. Roughly 10% of voters in Ohio are undecided, including Pavlik.
I'm listening and I'm taking it all in.
Is there a chance you'll vote for Donald Trump?
There is a possibility. He's going to have to show me that he's for the middle class.
Why should she vote for Donald Trump?
I think he is the one that can get this country going.
The county's unemployment rate is nearly a percentage point higher than the national average. 30-year-old Devon Johnson is looking for a job after being laid off. He's voting for Trump, even though his godfather is for Clinton.
You both agree the economy is the most important issue.
Oh yeah.
But you don't agree who is going to do a better job for the economy.
He's done went bankrupt and came back and went bankrupt again and came back, so that's what we need, someone who's going to get us out of this hole we're in.
Business is different than dealing with the country.
No Republican has won the White House without taking Ohio. Trump could use the support of this state's GOP governor, but so far, John Kasich has not endorsed him.
Lifelong Republican Roger Weiss picked Kasich in the primary, but plans to vote for Clinton, not Trump, in November.
I'm sure he's very smart. I just don't like his demeanor.
Dan Anderson does.
He has new ideas, and he's new and refreshing, even though he says a lot of goofball things.
Pavlik is still weighing her options.
Oh, well, good thing I don't vote like I bowl, huh?
The bowlers are split, just like many voters across Ohio, making it anyone's game. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, Youngstown, Ohio.
Well, a close call for some Williamsburg police officers. They say a man nearly hit them with his truck during a chase in Whitley County. Police released dash cam video showing part of that chase. They say it started when a truck with no license plates or taillights pulled up to a house at the center of a theft investigation. They say the driver, 24-year-old Brandon Stennett, then drove off and wouldn't stop. At one point, police say he nearly hit some officers along Log Cabin Road.
And I've been in a lot of crazy situations, but this was by far the worst.
Police say they fired 3 shots at the truck as it went by, and it soon crashed. Police then arrested Stennett. They say he had some drugs on him. No one was seriously injured.
New this morning, Lexington police have released surveillance pictures from 2 robberies they think are connected. The pictures were taken yesterday at the Advance America on Southland Drive and GameStop on East Reynolds Road. Police think the same man robbed both businesses at gunpoint. The robberies happened about an hour and a half apart. So far, police have not made any arrests in the case.
6 soldiers from Fort Campbell now face federal charges accused of stealing sensitive Army equipment. Investigators say more than $1 million in restricted equipment was sold and shipped mostly to anonymous eBay bidders. They say some of the bidders were in Russia and China. Investigators say the equipment included sniper telescopes, flight helmets, and machine gun parts. They say 2 civilians also face charges in the case.
Corbin police have issued a golden alert for a missing man. They say Luther Adkins hasn't been seen since around noon. Police say Adkins went to a doctor's appointment in London and left, but no one has heard from him since. Adkins is believed to have dementia. They say he's driving a gray 2002 Buick Park Avenue car with a Kentucky license plate personalized to say jockey. We have some more information about a deadly crash of a commuter train in New Jersey this morning. Federal investigators now say the New Jersey Transit train was going twice the speed limit when it crashed into a terminal in Hoboken last week. They also say the train's engineer hit the emergency brake less than a second before the crash. 1 person did die in the crash and more than 100 people were injured.
Country music star Luke Bryan didn't let a broken bone keep him from performing at a concert in Tennessee. Friends say Bryan was injured in a bicycle accident at a farm near Knoxville yesterday afternoon and was taken to a hospital. He later tweeted that he had a broken clavicle, but that didn't matter. His concert outside of Knoxville was still on. And sure enough, he still showed up and performed.
That is commitment
It's a
right
trooper,
there.
isn't
He is.
Got it.
Tough guy.
All right, the show goes on. 4:53 on WKYT this morning. Great to have you here on this Friday. And coming up next, we'll have a look at some of the stories we're working on for you right now.
And we'll also have another look at your morning forecast, including the latest on Hurricane Matthew, coming right up.
Welcome back to WKYT this morning. Our time is 4:57 right now.
It is Friday, everybody. Time to celebrate, right? Now it's time to take a look at some of the stories we're working on for you this morning.
We'll have all the latest updates on Hurricane Matthew, which is hitting the Florida coast this morning. We'll tell you where it is right now, where it is going, how Kentuckians are helping out. Also, we're in contact with some Kentuckians who are there this morning.
And of course, Micah will be keeping a track on the latest developments with Matthew, but we're also looking at the weather right here in Kentucky, and it's really nice.
It's really nice. Yeah, it's almost one of those you just can't enjoy it because of Hurricane Matthew down toward Florida. You just feel for those people down toward the Florida East Coast. 59 degrees there in Moorhead, 52 now in London, Corbin area. Actually looks really nice this morning. It's a little bit on the cool side. 81 by the afternoon, much of the same old story as we've been the past few days, but we're heading toward the weekend. Big drop of temperatures. I'll have that coming up next.